Well, hey, welcome to the Rise Podcast. Rocking the Laney t-shirt. What a great band. The band I've seen more live than any other band. I'm assuming every member of Laney is listening, so shout out. And by every member, there are only two, but I'm sure they're listening, so shout out to the band. I'm just kidding, but if you are, that's freaking amazing. Unhinged start already. What are we talking about today? Here's the title. It'll work if I work it. I'm going to say it again, and I hope that even as I say it, it's going to get in your spirit. It'll work if I work it. I'm saying it first person, and here's why. This is a declaration, a mantra, an idea, a belief you need to start internalizing. It'll work if I work it. There are too many people who have great, phenomenal, amazing, beautiful, brilliant, awesome visions and plans and ideas and thoughts for what you could do or what your life could look like. Or if I did this, then it would lead to this, and then the business could become all this, and then we'd make this much money, and it'd be great for my kids and my family, but the business is also making an impact in the community, and it would be so awesome. And the problem is you have 100% vision and 10% grit. And for a lot of people, your idea is great, but the first sign of trouble, the first time there's an obstacle, the first time you encounter some resistance, the first time it doesn't happen the way you wanted it to, the first time you hit a roadblock, or you start doing the thing, you start the business, you start doing family devos and do a rose and thorn at dinner with your kids. And the first time that one of them throws a little fit, you're like, well, this works for the Instagram influencer, but it doesn't work for my family. And so you encounter trouble, or it doesn't work the way that it did for somebody else. And now you're ready to quit. But I want to tell you, and I made this really as a declaration that you can start using every day in your life. It'll work if I work it. There's a brilliant quote from a since dead evangelist and Christian leader named Leonard Ravenhill. He said this: difficulties give way to determined men or women. He said men, but I don't think he meant the gender. Difficulties give way to determined people. So you have to just bake into your vision, mix into your plan. There's going to be difficulties. There's going to be setbacks there. I'm not assuming everything's going to go well, because if I assume it's all going to go easy and well and perfect, and there's never going to be a single person that doesn't like my plan, and there's not going to be a single thing that comes against me, then the first time it does, now I'm surprised. And the worst punch is the one you don't see coming. But when you know, oh, I don't know why I'm going into a boxing analogy. I'm way out of my depth here. But if you know, oh, this guy, he's a lefty and he really likes that he fakes with the jab and then comes around with the hook. Okay, fam, I know this guy's going to hit me with the hook. So what can I do? I can be prepared for it. Be prepared as you try to go to the next level in your business, as you try to go to the next level in your church, as you try to go to the next level in your finances, in your family, in your marriage, whatever it is, expect there's going to be obstacles. And instead of the obstacle comes and, oh, well, stuff just doesn't work for me like it does for other people. And, they're doing great and they have all these followers and they have all these people in their church and they have this business that's doing $4.6 million a year. And I have a vision to see that happen, but we're only clearing $46,000 a year and we're in our first year. Guys, it is going to be hard, but your plan will work if you work it. Now, 10-second disclaimer: if you have no plan and you're just going for it, that's not that's not going to work either. You need to have vision. Without vision, people perish. But there are so many people, and I relate to this as a visionary, as someone with 100% vision. It is so hard sometimes when my vision and my reality don't align, until I remember, oh, no, this is how it works for everybody. There is no greatness without great sacrifice. There is no greatness without pushing through the obstacles. And at the end of the day, it's not about just the destination. It really is about the journey of how you get there. So let me just say this real quick to all the people who the specific thing you're struggling with, the specific reason you want to throw in the towel is because you're looking at you and somebody else. And when you see them, your current life, your current setup does not align with what their life looks like. Let me just say it to you real simply. How many games have you ever seen get decided after the score of the first quarter? How many games have you ever seen the winner get determined by who had more points in the first quarter? 0. It's a 4-quarter game. I've seen so many basketball games, so many football games that one team was just crushing them after a quarter, even after a half, sometimes even after 3 quarters. But come the 4th quarter, everything changed. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. Cool. They had a better start than you. Cool. They had advantages in their favor that led them to get XYZ, whatever. Cool. That's fine. First of all, it's not a competition. It's you versus you. It's you versus the best possible you can be. But if you want to compare yourself to somebody, be realistic. Whoever got a trophy for having the best first quarter? Never seen it happen. So at the end of the day, you have to keep working it. Maybe your business launch didn't go as good as you thought. Maybe instituting this new thing as a family rhythm didn't immediately revolutionize the culture of your family. Maybe you're a church planter like me, and we're believing for, I'm hesitant to say it on a podcast because that makes it real. We're believing for a lot of people, more than 100, more than 200, more than 300, more than 500, more than 600, 700, 800, more. We're believing for a lot of people to come to our launch day. Either they will, more people will come than we're believing for, or the exact number we're believing for will come, or less will come. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. That's one Sunday. It literally does not matter. What matters is 6 months in, are we still going hard? A year in, 5 years in? Because here's the thing. We're not chasing months. We're not chasing weeks. We're certainly not chasing days. Fam, I'm not even chasing years. I'm chasing decades. I'm chasing decades of impact, decades of significance, decades of legacy, decades, generations, not just decades. Let it be generations. Literally, one of the things that I cry about most frequently in my prayer time, and I'm going to end it on this, is I'm praying for the next senior pastors of our church. That's one of the things I cry about the most, because if we pastor this church for 35 years, that means we're about 60 to 65 if we pastor for 35 years, give or take a few years on either side. And if we handed it off to someone who was 35, that means right now they're about 1, 2, 3, 40 years old on average, roughly. So they're probably born. That'll get me to cry all the time, because I'm not building this church. Maya and I are not building this church to make a splash and then burn out in a year or 2 or 3 or 5. And so, fam, if we have 100 people or 500 people or 1,000 people or 3,000 people in our first Sunday, it just doesn't really matter. What matters is the impact in 2030 and 2040 and 2070 and 2120 and 2300. I'm planting a church that's going to still impact people in the Austin area and beyond for centuries. Is my prayer is, God, let us be a beacon of light and hope and impact for centuries. Because it's not about the short term. It is a long-term plan, a long-term vision that, hear me, will work if I work it. So I'm challenging you. Work the plan, work the vision. What did God tell you to do? What did God cause to bubble up in your spirit? I got to do this. Keep working it. Don't give up. We're not keeping score of who wins and loses after a quarter. We're keeping score of decades. Keep working it, and God will work it out if you will keep working it.